Today's video will answer the following question. How do I declutter my entire life step by step without going completely crazy? Decluttering your entire life is a challenge for a variety of reasons. First, it's hard to know where to start. It can be difficult to decide which items to keep and which to get rid of. Additionally, it can be difficult to find a place to store items that you do want to keep. You may also have an emotional attachment to items, which may make it really hard to part with them. It's important to recognize that this process will take time and effort. But the good news is, the slower you make this process and the more in-depth you go, the better results you'll find. Instead of a quick fix, basically a house that looks tidy but you don't keep up with, you'll actually create systems and rethink the organization of your space in a sustainable way. So let's get started. First thing you should do is take photos of your entire house beforehand. This basically accomplishes two different things. So first of all, you get a really good overview of what your house, your drawer, your space looked like before you got started. So you have a reference image that you can look back on to see how you were organizing said space, or if you have to use the same kind of organization solution you were using before. Secondly, it also acts as kind of a motivation booster because you have your before pic. You're able to see as you progress through your decluttering journey how you're doing so far and how much you have been able to declutter and organize with just a couple of minutes or a couple of hours. Secondly, you should definitely consider making a decluttering plan. Any kind of project or task becomes really daunting and overwhelming if you start without a proper plan. And decluttering a house and cleaning a house should not be the exception. Decluttering an entire house from scratch can be a really daunting prospect. So if you make a plan beforehand of what you need to declutter and when you will be decluttering, can make such a huge difference in terms of performance as well as your motivation overall. You can also use a method called the 3-bag method. All you have to do is basically get 3 cardboard boxes or trash bags and label them to get out of the house, to relocate, and to hold. Basically, it's self-explanatory, but out of the house means any kind of item that you find around in your house that needs to be donated, that needs to go into the trash, that needs to be sold, etc. It basically has no purpose and no place in your home anymore. Relocate should hold all of the items that you found in the wrong place or that just need a new organization system. And finally, your hold box is for those items that you just want to keep in while you're decluttering a space or a drawer or a cabinet, and you don't want to have those items just spread around on the floor or on your bed because it can accumulate a lot of dust, it can accumulate a lot of clutter as well, and it's better for you to have a specific place where you can put those items and then get through that box or that bag without feeling too overwhelmed because everything is scattered all around you. Tip number 4 is to start with 15 minutes per day only. I think it's quite a stretch to say that decluttering and cleaning can be a fun project or a fun activity, but it definitely should not be something that causes you a panic attack or that makes you feel way too overwhelmed. So if you're new to this process or if you feel completely frozen just by the idea of starting this, 15 minutes a day goes a long way. You should also include this in your decluttering plan that I mentioned before, so you know that in the beginning of the process, you are only going to work on decluttering for 15 minutes a day only. As you continue your decluttering and cleaning journey, you should add more minutes as you feel comfortable with the whole process. Tip number 5 is to always begin with the room or the space that will give you the most satisfaction. There is always a place in our home that, independently of its size or of its importance, it just drives us crazy all the time. And we feel that even if we have everything cleaned, if that particular space is not cleaned and it's not decluttered, it's like everything else doesn't really matter. You just have to get to that thing first, and that's exactly what you should be doing. This will provide you with valuable momentum, and it will also make you feel like the biggest task on your list is completed. And if you were able to get through that, you're basically able to get through anything else. Once again, the important thing here is that even if you are starting with the space or the room that makes you feel more satisfied about decluttering, you still do it only 15 minutes a day so as not to feel way too overwhelmed. Step number 6 is to clean first and then put away. This may sound like a no-brainer for a lot of people, but some of us get so involved in the process of organizing and decluttering that we kind of forget that things need to be cleaned before they're put away. So remember this as you're building your decluttering plan. If you plan, for instance, to clear out your closet for 1 hour, remember to add in 30 extra minutes to vacuum, deep clean, and do everything else, and make sure to include that so that you feel accountable for the cleaning process as well. Step number 7 is to include a maintenance list as you go. As you go through a deep clean of your house, you'll start noticing a few things like, oh, this thing needs replacing, or this thing needs some maintenance, or this thing needs me to call someone to repair it. So instead of ignoring these things as you are decluttering, if you're not able to get to those tasks right now, make sure you have some sort of a list on the side, a maintenance list, and just jot down everything that you need to take care of in the future, independently of the decluttering and cleaning process. Also remember that as you're not leaving everything for the last minute and you're upkeeping your home in a regular fashion, you are saving a lot of money, you're saving a lot of time, and when you're doing this in tiny little bits during the year, you're not feeling like you need to do a one deep clean per year, or you don't have to repair all of your home, all of your appliances once per year, and that makes everything feel so much better and less overwhelming. Step 8 is to make note of any kind of containers or organization methods that you may need. So as you're organizing your home, you may start to realize that some items and some products you have in your home should be better organized with different containers, different racks, different supplies, and so forth. So once again, instead of completely ignoring all of those necessities, you should have a list on the side to keep track out of those ideas that you're having. As you're going through the process, take all the measurements that you need and really measure out your cabinets, your drawers, and everything so that in the future you're able to purchase those organization items bit by bit, or if you can afford to purchase them in bulk. However, remember that purchasing those organizational items should not be any sort of impediment for you to have a clean and organized space. So it's just a bonus, it's just an extra. You can always measure everything, you can put your ideas on the side, but that shouldn't stop you from keeping on with the decluttering and the cleaning and the organization process. Number 9, remember that if you haven't liked something so far, you're probably not going to like it in the future. We all have that item, that kitchen appliance, that clothing item that we never truly really liked or enjoyed. But because it was never used regularly, we just think that if we wait long enough, eventually we will like that thing. And the bad news is we probably won't. So it doesn't have any kind of space in your home. Honestly, these items are just taking precious space out of your home, and they could be valued by someone else. So donate those items if they're completely new, or sell them because they may provide some value to other people. Finally, tip number 10 is making it a ritual. Any kind of chore that is tedious, that is boring, really benefits from you creating a ritual out of it. So basically, you should create this kind of optimal environment around the task, like picking a very comfy outfit, or selecting a very specific playlist that makes you feel pumped and inspired and motivated, or even kind of preparing a few of your favorite snacks to eat as you're decluttering. When you do this, when you associate something this overwhelming with pleasant experiences, you are just basically recognizing this as any other kind of project you just have to tackle, and that can actually feel quite positive. So you're basically reinforcing this with positive experiences. And this is really important if you want to make sure that your cleaning, your decluttering, and your organization routines become a solid part of your lifestyle. And if you want to learn more about decluttering in a mindful way, I highly recommend going through the classic lessons in the life-changing magic of tidying up. And you can go through the book's main points quickly with Shortform, who is kindly partnering with me for today's video. With Shortform, you can learn the ideas from all the non-fiction books you've ever wanted to read. You get really detailed summaries on so many books. And if you're thinking, well, I can find a lot of free summaries on the internet, this is where it gets really interesting. Because instead of just summarizing the books, short form actually goes beyond that. And it adds interactive exercises to help you apply the ideas you've just learned, as well as smart insights, allowing you to connect the dots and understand everything at a deeper level. You can use short form to learn all the key points from the life-changing magic of tidying up, and you can also access their whole library of productivity, history, psychology, lifestyle, and philosophy books. When I use short form and as I access a summary previously learned, I look forward to the full experience and buy the full book, while always being able to go back to short form to at least remember its main key points. Short form also drops new book guides and articles every single week, and subscribers get to vote on what books to cover. To get 5 days of unlimited access and an additional 20% discount on the annual subscription, you can join short form through my special link, or if you click the link in the description box below. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys!